St. Teresa's was a body of water. You dropped girls in it and they found their depth. Some sank to the bottom like stones, some floated on the top like feathers. In between, the largest group formed the middling layers like strata. What is a girl? Is she a well-behaved child like Ada from the unseen world? Or is she a brave, world-building hero like Lauren Olamina? Or is she ambitious and unconventional like Jo March? And if she is unconventional, who decided what the convention was? And if a girl follows that convention, she's somehow good. And if she doesn't, she's bad or nasty or a witch. In my most recent read by Jennifer Nansubuga Mukumbi, a girl is a body of water and a grown woman is a whole thirst trap. Alright, so this is the story of Chirabo, a 12-year-old girl who is being raised by her grandparents in a small village called Nateta in Uganda. The book opens and we're introduced to Chirabo as this masterful storyteller who's trying to command the attention of these teenagers with this extraordinary tale of a daughter who's been thrown away. Now, while that story is rich within itself, we are not there. We are with Chirabo and her sneaking suspicion that she might be a witch. Feeling like she's different, like somehow she's not alone within herself, she sneaks to see the village witch Nsuta against her grandmother's wishes. And there's a bit of a rivalry that's going on between this woman and the other women in the village.
Well, let it out.
Close your legs to married men. Close your legs to married men.
Excuse
you heard
me?
it? Close your legs to married men.
She asks Nsuta to help her find her mother because she needs to reconcile all of these feelings that she has inside where no matter how much she tries, she just can't stop doing the things that she's explicitly told not to do. I think you're a special girl, Chirabo. But I want to stop the dreadful things. What dreadful things? You can trust me. I am a witch too. It's not good. If you don't tell me, how can I help you? You know when people say, don't do that, you are a girl? Yes. I wait until no one is around and I do it just to see what happens. Like the other time. What did you do the other time? You know the jackfruit tree behind our kitchen? I pulled down my knickers and flashed my, to see whether it would die or just stop bearing fruit. Chirabo! Growing up in this village of Nateta, Chirabo finds camaraderie with her best friend Jibwa and the surgeon's son Sio. And within these relationships, the realities of class divide, colorism, and the brutal demands of hormonal impulses and attractions take center stage. And while Chirabo finds herself at odds with herself and these characters, there is a grounding element that connects her journey to her history and just how all the societal expectations come to be. By the time Chirabo is collected by her father and is struggling to belong in his new family, and then she's shipped off to her boarding school where her formation takes on these new depths, the reader is swept away in this extraordinary narrative that connects her meetings with Nsuta the witch and all of the humor and the edification and the tenderness that takes part in the beginning of the novel to the backstory of all the love, grace, and mercy that has led to her and sustained her. The literary term Bildungsroman was originally coined by Carl Morgenstern in the 19th century. And according to Ralph A. Austin, it's been in heavy rotation within African literary analysis since the 1980s. The idea of the African's development as an individual in the context of post-colonial society is ripe for various interpretations. But I think where A Girl is a Body of Water shines is that it so clearly depicts what Austin suggests in reflecting the possibilities of self-formation through inherited culture, formal education, as well as expanding the capacity for individual expression. I think the thrill of the Bildungsroman or the coming-of-age narrative is that watching the ways of the world or the formation of society through a child's point of view is always mixed with so much innocence and also so much dismay at what we accept and what we enforce and how that affects our own human condition. Chirabo presents this sentiment so profoundly because not only is she acutely aware of these forces, she is a force herself, drawing it and us into this intricate nature of the human condition. Now, for part of the novel, I was a bit disengaged because sometimes I tend to gloss over epistolary storytelling and the exchange of letters between characters. Sometimes I'm disinterested, but I had this really interesting realization while I was reading this one. I found myself losing interest during these correspondences because these letters were being exchanged by girls, but I couldn't get over the fact that they were also someone's grandmothers. And when I realized the depth and wealth of their own life experiences, their childhood promises, fantasies, the way they themselves were taking in the world with the limitations being imposed on them, I was just taken aback by how expansive our society's I wouldn't say like intentions, but just our execution of silencing women's voices actually is. That it's such a hurdle to hear and read and learn about women's experiences when they no longer seem to serve a purpose for us, if their role has been accomplished in our lives, and just how diminishing it is to our entire human nature. And this is truly why I believe that this book is the most important novel to global feminism at the moment. In the specific, there is the universal, right? And I think that Makumbi's command of the nuances of African feminism shows that our judgments serve no purpose. It's like salting a hard-boiled egg. I'm sure that's like bad luck in some society or something like that. Oppression is all around us, and we should be careful to recognize how we are participants to a system that subjugates us to certain roles and behaviors, and how that perpetuates the very thing that we say we don't understand. And I love the concept of Mwen Kanan Kano. Mwen Kanan Kano, because this is where we should be. Everyone should understand how we're just trying to salt the inside of the egg. I don't know if this analogy will work, but we shall see. Jennifer Nansubuga Makumbi is such a gem. She's like a literary steward, and all of these characters from Chintu to Chirabo that she's ushering into the literary canon, they are taking their place and they will be there in perpetuity. A Girl is a Body of Water is the perfect thematic mix of humor and empowerment, of truth-telling and reverence. And just like water, it's a remembering of who we are and what we are capable of achieving in those tiny moments that ask us not to be seen, but to see. If you've read this book, definitely leave comments down below. If you haven't, I don't know what you're waiting for, because I cannot recommend this book enough. I savored every page. I did not want it to end, and I really truly took my time with it, not only because I'm alone in Ireland and I don't know when I'm going to be able to pick up some new books, but also just because it felt like such a momentous read. And we all know, like, that first time reading something and you're just swept away in this world, you don't want it to end. So I really enjoyed it. Anywho, definitely pick it up. If you read it, leave me some comments down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, remember to read or be read, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Men one kanan kano.